right into this experiment and explore a fascinating dynamic. Have you ever wondered why some people just naturally command respect, while others, are constantly treated like doormats? Well, it all comes down to the invisible signals we're constantly sending out to the world.
Think about a room full of people. We've all seen that one person who walks in and absolutely nobody messes with them. They don't have to yell, they aren't picking fights, they honestly just exist, and the room naturally respects them. But then, in that exact same room, with the exact same group of people, there's someone else who gets disrespected constantly. So what is actually happening there? Why are these two individuals getting entirely different treatment based purely on the invisible signals they're sending out? It's brutal, isn't it? On one side, we've got the respected, and on the other, the doormat. It is a painfully real experience to be that invisible person. It's the person who gets interrupted every single time they try to speak. The person who gets canceled on at the absolute last minute, as if their time means literally nothing. It's the person who forces a smile and laughs off hurtful jokes made at their expense in front of everybody, pretending it doesn't bother them, when deep down, it hurts every single time. But here's the real kicker, and the crucial point to understand. Disrespect doesn't just happen randomly. People who get walked all over aren't fundamentally flawed. They're just, often accidentally, sending signals that tell others, hey, you can treat me badly. So changing how you're treated isn't about suddenly becoming this loud, aggressive, or mean person. Not at all. It's simply about stopping the specific, ingrained behaviors that invite that bad treatment in the first place.
Which brings us to Section 1, the power of calm silence and naming the disrespect. This is probably our biggest domino here, and a terrifyingly effective tactic for shutting down bad behavior instantly.
So, our natural reflex when we feel attacked or disrespected, we react big, right? We get visibly upset, we fiercely defend ourselves, we nervously explain why a joke was wrong, or we just flat out yell. But here's the trap. Reacting big actually gives the other person all the power. It shows them they got under your skin. Choosing instead to calmly name the behavior completely flips the dynamic. You aren't giving them emotional ammunition anymore. You are simply holding up a mirror.
All right, here is the exact playbook from our source on how to execute this. Step 1, notice the behavior. Step 2, look right at them and in a flat, totally unemotional voice, literally like you're just reading a menu at a restaurant, name it. Say, that was disrespectful. And step 3, which is absolutely the most important step, stop talking. You don't yell, you don't explain why it was disrespectful, you don't defend your feelings, you just name what they did and let the silence hang heavily in the air.
Seriously, imagine looking someone dead in the eye and delivering just those 3 words. That was disrespectful.
There?
Let's actually make this real with a story from the source material. Imagine a so-called friend who constantly makes fun of your job in front of the group, mockingly saying, "Oh, here comes the burger flipper." The old reaction? Laughing along, trying to be cool. The new reaction? Completely deadpan. The next time he does it, you look right at him. You don't smile, you don't laugh, you just say, "That's disrespectful." And boom, the whole group goes completely quiet. Because you aren't playing his emotional game anymore, you instantly strip his power away, forcing an immediate apology.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Section 2, the value of waiting and protecting your time. We're moving from conversational boundaries to time boundaries here.
Think about doctors for a second. Ever notice how they always make you wait? It's simple psychology, really. We inherently respect doctors because it is universally understood that their time is incredibly valuable. You wait for them. They don't wait for you. Conversely, if you're someone who is instantly available for everything and everyone, well, your time starts to feel kind of worthless to others. So, texting back at 11 p.m. because you know someone expects an immediate response? Or always throwing out an instant yes to every single favor? That's a classic weak habit. The strong habit is implementing calm, strategic delays, waiting an hour or two to respond, or just saying, "Hey, let me check my schedule and get back to you." And look, this isn't about playing silly games. It's about proving that your life does not stop for everyone else. When you make people wait, even just a little bit, you train them that your time matters.
All right, Section 3, stopping the cycle and owning your worth. Let's look at how to speak up against bad treatment without feeling this desperate need to prove yourself.
Look, swallowing bad behavior because you hate conflict just trains people that it's perfectly fine to keep doing it. You'd literally just get more of it. That is why you absolutely must speak up immediately. Not later, not rehearsing some perfect comeback in your head on the drive home, right when it happens. If a friend cancels on you last minute for the third time, you don't say, "Oh, no worries, it's okay." You say, "This is the third time you've canceled. That's not okay." Let's ground this with a super common workplace scenario. A coworker constantly dumps their tasks on you, right? "Hey, can you just handle this real quick?" If you look at them and simply say, "No, that's your job, I'm not doing it," sure, they might push back at first, but hold firm, because a fascinating thing happens. They stop asking, they start doing their own work, and they actually end up respecting you more. People naturally respect boundaries, even when they test them initially.
Now, this next one is honestly one of the hardest signals to fix. You've got to stop trying to prove your worth. When someone doubts a person with weak habits, that person immediately launches into a frantic 10-minute defense, listing off every achievement just to prove they're right. But that desperately signals that you don't believe you are enough. Confident people just don't do that. When questioned, they lean on quiet confidence. They just shrug and say, "I'm comfortable with my decision," or "I know what I'm doing." No endless explanations, no desperate proof.
Because as they say, confidence is absolutely contagious. When you act like you already deserve respect without having to explain yourself to death, people naturally just believe you. They stop questioning you. Your worth isn't something you constantly have to prove to a jury. It's something you simply own.
So, boiling all this down, the core takeaway from this explainer is actually incredibly freeing. Gaining respect isn't about inventing some loud, fake, aggressive new personality. You aren't adding new skills here. You are simply stripping away the old weak habits that are covering up the real strong you. Stop reacting big, stop being instantly available, stop accepting bad treatment quietly, and for sure stop trying to prove yourself. When you just remove those behaviors, the respect shows up automatically.
Stop waiting for permission to be respected. You already possess everything you need. You just exist, and that is enough. You deserve respect right now. You just need to start acting like it and fully owning your space. So, I want to leave you with a real challenge today. Which weak behavior are you going to drop? Pick just one move we discussed. Maybe it's calmly calling out disrespect with those 3 powerful words and just letting that awkward silence sit there. Or maybe it's